Hello, hello, happy Wednesday. I'm starting a few minutes early as I'm trying out a microphone. I've always just used my phone mic, and sometimes I go over to the big shot and I'm walking around, and I just thought it might help keep things a little more professional, even however you want to look at it. It's trying to drop me. I've had issues with Wi-Fi lately, so hopefully, maybe it's the mic that's going to cause this. Let me see if I can sign on to my computer here. See if I can pull up the video. I just want to make sure again. Shoot. Well, hopefully this doesn't become super glitchy. That would not be good. Oh, I can hear myself, so the mic must be working, which is a good sign. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I've muted that. Let's see. Oh, that's not showing me comments. I want to see comments. There we go. All right. Hello. Welcome. Happy New Year. I've done one since the New Year. I can't remember. I was supposed to be live last week. I ended up getting stuck in Montreal. Our flight got canceled, so I didn't make it home for Wednesday for my live, so I'm doing it today. I was really sad because all of the releases had just started. I think it was on the 7th, which would have been the Tuesday? The Wednesday? I don't know anymore. Anyways, I was so excited to show you guys. I could actually show the catalogs and what's available, and I wasn't able to. So I'm gonna, I don't know why my phone keeps disconnecting. It could very possibly be this microphone and too much demand on Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, however you want to look at it. That would suck. All right, well, I'm going to keep going, and hopefully we'll get through this. If it ends and I have to restart, hopefully you can come find me again. If you're watching, please say hi. Let me know you're watching. I'd love to hear from you. I love to see comments. I don't always catch them right away, and there is a lag, but I do try and watch them. And if I haven't answered them, I'm happy to answer them after my live. So feel free. Trying to reconnect. Oh, sorry, you guys. I hope this isn't. We'll see what it looks like after. Yeah, it keeps cutting out and coming back. All right. I don't know if I should go. I wonder if the booster is on. Anyways, I will try and fiddle with that after, assuming that this works. Let's get flipped around. And actually, before we get flipped around, I wanted to say that so today I'm going to be showing you a new technique with embossing folders. For those of you who've been watching for many episodes, you will know that I love to play with techniques, and I love to have new ways to use product that you might already have. Just kind of stretch your supplies. So this is a new technique that I've never done before. It was Jennifer McGuire that I saw do this. She is the goat of card making. She is not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, but she is amazing. Just at the things she comes up with. So I love to watch her and come up with ways to use it with the stuff that we have. So I'm going to be using our 4 new folders that we have throughout our different releases. And so you'll get to see the new embossing folders, 4 of the new, 3 of the new suites and 1 not parts of suites. And yeah, so let's get started. I'll flip you around and I'll be able to show you where the whole cutting in and out is getting annoying. Anyways, let's try and flip you around. Part of the reason I came on early is because I had heard from people that Facebook I think Facebook had done an update or something, and it was causing She's out again. Oh my goodness, goodness gracious. Okay, we're kind of crooked here. Let's try and make it a little more straight. Hopefully that is straight now. All right, so we've got, for the month of January and February, we've got Celebration, which are free products. You cannot purchase these. So with every $75 purchase, you get to choose a free item. So if you spend $150, you would get to choose 2, or there are a couple of items back here. I don't know if the colors mean anything. I thought somebody had said they did, but I don't think they do. This one is a, it's got dies and a stamp set. And that one's with a $150 purchase, so you would just get the one item. Or there's this stamp set, which is absolutely huge. It doesn't look like much, but it's like the stamps are massive. I showed it in my last, when I did the unboxing. So if you want to take a look at that, you can. That one's 150 as well. The rest are all 75. The other thing to keep note of is we have a join my team deal on for Celebration. There's always really good deals. This isn't it. Where, oh, here. Okay, so first I'll say, so if you spend $375 or more, so if you have a party or just my phone cutting out, you get an extra $37.50 worth of products. So normally with $375 order, you would get, I think it's 12% rewards. So you would get those 12% rewards plus an extra $37.50 on top of all the free rewards you get through Celebration. So now is an awesome time to, even if you're a regular Paper Pumpkin subscriber, to get your 12-month paper subscription. 12-month paper. Then you get to take advantage of all of this stuff. So that's a really good deal. The other deal that's on right now is to join. Joining is kind of, it's whatever you want it to be. So it's that you're not locked into anything. You don't have to sell. You don't, I joined almost 20 years ago now. And honestly, I did not sell the stuff for many, many years. It was a hobby, and I used it for the discount. And so you can take it as far as you want, or just keep it for your own discount, or not really do anything with it at all. But so our starter kits are $135. They're always $135, and you get to choose $165 worth of product. This includes tax and shipping, GST, I should say. If you are in a province that has other taxes like HST, PST, whatever, those taxes get put on, but GST and shipping are free with your starter kit. So right now, on top of that $165, you have 2 options. You can choose 2 marker sets on top of the $165, so it's a $129 value. Or if you don't need markers, maybe you already have them, maybe you don't like the stamp set, you can go for option 2, which is to choose an additional $41 in free products. So instead of $165, you would get $206 worth of free product, not free product, $206 for $135. The Celebration products do not apply to starter kits, just so you know. But once you join and get your starter kit, you can then purchase things through yourself and get the discount plus all of these freebies. It's all on top of your discount, which is really nice. So yeah, we have Celebration. We have the new unique, beautiful, stunning. We're going to use a bunch of products in there. The other thing I just wanted to show you quickly, I don't have the products yet, is there's a scrapbooking brochure, which is, I've printed this out, but it's online. So they've released a bunch of new scrapbook items. For those of you who know, Close to My Heart closed down last, I want to say June. And we had all of the makers come over to Stampin' Up! And so they are now going back into the scrapbooking world and bringing out more. So some of these actually go with suites that are in the mini catalog. So like there's a whole suite already for card making. And now there's a scrapbook kit on top of that that goes with it, which I have ordered, and I'll be able to show you when it arrives. It says it's arriving on Friday. They've also added stamp sets that are more for scrapbooking, like they're more titles and stuff, which is nice. And then they have two-tone paper. So, and then the Storybook Life, this is another suite that's in the mini catalog, and again with a stamp set. And then this one meant to be, some of you might recognize it if you've been around. I believe the other bee stamp set is still in the annual catalog. So we had one last year for Valentine's that had the cute bee, and it had designer series paper similar to this, but not quite. It was more in the reds and yellows, and I want to say Flirty Flamingo maybe. This one is more bubble bath, pool party, petunia pop, so kind of more purplies, greens and blues. So it's a new, and then this stamp set, there's a whole new bundle. So this is a new stamp set. It matches the other one, but it's new, and it has 2 different size bees, and it also has the dies, whereas before it was a punch that cut out, I think it cuts out this smaller bee, or it might be the bigger bee, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't have it yet. And then there's this beautiful hexagon bundle set, which I love. It does frames and solids, which is really fun. And then we've got this Everyday You and Me scrapbook kit, which is totally really nice set. And so here's the Bumblebee bundle, and then this Everyday You and Me that isn't part of a suite has its own bundle. Scrapbooking, what do you call, protectors and flip flops. So whole new, that's dangerous, whole new scrapbooking line. And I think they're supposed to be coming out with albums starting in the new annual catalog, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, so let's get started. I've got 4 cards for you today. I was going to do 3 and then try and do 1 on YouTube, but I don't think I have time this week. So I'm just going to try and do all 4 today. Hopefully I can, and we will get through them. All right, so for the first card, I need these things here, and then I'm going to pull out, so I'm kind of using the Wildflower birthday suite, kind of not. I'm using the paper. I'm using this I'm using this embossing folder. I don't know, it's telling me the signal's low, so I don't know if it's actually cutting out. It's showing me on my computer that it says lost signal, so it must be cutting out. So I'm gonna try, and if I'm stopping to talk for like a second, stop talking and then start again, it's because I'm waiting for the signal to come back if I notice it. Otherwise, I'm talking through and it'll probably cut me out. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to figure this out. I don't know why it's doing this. Anyways, so this can be found in the Celebration catalog. It is a freebie. Oops, it is right here. So it is this one, and it is free with a $75 purchase. So you cannot purchase it, but you could use any embossing folder also. I'm showing you the new product, but you can use this with any embossing folder. All right, so we need that. We need our card base, which I'll just set over here. I've pulled out the linked together. This is out of the mini catalog, I think. Oh, I forgot to mark it. It might be out of the, you know what, guys? There's been so much released. Oh, yeah. And the online exclusives, there's no way of printing them out or knowing, kind of having a catalog to show you. So it's making life very difficult. I will figure it out. But there's this linked together bundle, and it is a stamp set, a die set, and stencils that go together. I'm just using the stencils out of this. I was gonna do some fancy stuff, but I ended up deciding just to use this one. So we're gonna pull that out of here. And then this is the stamp and die set, which I didn't end up using on this one. I'm using, you'll see there's ephemera in the paper pack, which I ended up using, and I just wanted to, I've used this tag here, which is out of the Greetings of the Season dies from the Christmas stuff. And then this piece is from the butterfly, you will see it in a butterfly suite. I can't remember what it's called. So there's these cut aparts in this paper, which I have shown, but there's also 2 pages of ephemera, which I think I've decided I am going to pop them all out and just use them, because it's a pain in the butt to they kind of get caught and stuff when you put it in and out. So I feel like I'm going to pop everything out, and then I can, but I like also being able to see everything. And so the 2 pages, there's 2 of each of the ephemera. So I've already used one of these when I made my first card. I'm using the second one right now. So, and this stuff is beautiful. It's got this beautiful gold shine to it. So I don't even know if this is working. Anyways, hopefully it's working. Hopefully it's recording. So yeah, so we've got the cake, which is why I'm not using the stamp set. You could use if you wanted to put numbers on here, you could use the die set and cut out the numbers, like 16 or something, and then put some tassels and banner. But for now, I'm just gonna use this. I'm gonna stencil this quickly, and then we will get to, instead of making all the cards, I might just do the backgrounds and show you the finished card. It'll go a lot faster. Okay, we've got these pieces. Let's do our background. So for this one, I took the colors out of from the suite, which I don't know if Melon Mambo is in there. No, so I've added Melon Mambo, but there's Peach Pie and Pretty in pink, and Melon Mambo is one that goes well with those. Come in, and I'm gonna, oh, apparently this needs re-inking. Use my blender brushes, and I'm going to just brush it on to my cardstock. Now you want quite a bit, the darker the ink, so even the darker the colors, the more you're going to see this technique. And I should have, you could drag the pad on the paper if you really wanted to get the ink down faster. I'm just gonna, but I find when you're trying to blend, I mean, you could do that for for this end and this end, but it's kind of hard to do it in the middle. So, and I forgot to grab a wipe. Grab a wipe as we change colors here. I'm going to go to the other end here, and then do the middle one at the end. So I've got pink. Ooh, this looks like maybe I needed to wipe it off. Looks like there's some Melon Mambo. I find the best, I do have a light and a dark for each of the color kind of groupings, but using a paper towel works really well to just kind of get that saturation off if you're starting with a new color. Do a bit more. I prefer to put it on the glass instead of taking it directly off the ink pad, because I find it'll probably help, but it also, I find, allows me to have smoother blending instead of having kind of that harsh like ink lines. So that is why I like to use the glass mat. Dry it up, okay, and then we've got our melon mambo. Ooh, that one's nice and juicy. So that's where you really want to kind of have it be able to blend without it's not a whole lot darker than the Pretty in Pink. It doesn't look like it right now, but as we get more and more on. So you can see when I go direct on the paper, because I'm starting in the middle, you get those swirls, but as it dries, it smooths out. Just kind of blend it into the peach. Try and blend it into the pink. Okay, let that, get rid of this. Sorry if it's like scratching nails down a blackboard. Okay, so then we're going to take our embossing folder here. This is a regular embossing folder, it's not a 3D. And we're just going to run it through the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Oh, I didn't grab the right plates for that. I was thinking they were all 3D. They're not. So when you have a regular emboss folder, you use 2 number 2 plates and the number 3 plates. Sorry, I thought they were number 2s. Oh, the 2 is the thin plate. My bad. Okay, so we've got that. It's got a pretty there. Now comes the technique. So for this technique, you need to use water-based ink. And then you need some rubbing alcohol. So I've got some alcohol in my spritz, and I'm going to spray it onto my block. Then make sure you're in a well-ventilated area, as I realize that I am not. It's like, whoa, that's strong. I'll just lean away here. And you're just gonna simply rub it so it's the tops of the embossed. If you have too much liquid, which is why we're using the alcohol, because it dries. If you use water, it'll drip and it'll get into all the crevices, but since it's alcohol, it tends to just dry. So I don't know if you can see it. It really changes the color. I I thought it was lightening it, and I think it does lighten it in some cases. Sometimes it like actually changes the color. It actually does some cool patterns on the back on some of these. But it just makes it pop in a different way. So it's different than adding, you know, sometimes some different ink. This is just a new way to do it. So then we've got, I'll just show you the finished card here. So these were our pieces. I used the stencil and I just stenciled some pretty in pink on the back of the tag. I added the cake and stamped happy birthday, which is from the butterfly suite as well. Gold trim is new. We used to have a silver one like this. This is the best stuff because it's not, you don't really have to put it on, like tie it. You're not going to tie it in a bow. I mean, you could if you were wrapping a gift or something, but it's just, it's nice to put behind things and just give it that little bit of gold sparkle. So that is what, oops, I put there. So that is the finished version of this one. Okay, so next, what's the next one I'm gonna do? Let's see what's in the order. Let me set this stuff aside because we all know that things start to fall if I don't. The cute seagulls. I think I need all of this. So we've got, where did I put the actual set here? Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use the Soft Waves embossing folder, which is from the Ocean I'm using for my club this month. I love the cards that we're doing this month. I love these colors. Hopefully my club people like it just as much. But yeah, so the embossing folder is in this suite if you're looking for it. And then I'm using these Everyday Arches, I think. Oh yeah, Everyday Arches. These are from the online exclusives. They are part of a suite in the online exclusives, Everyday Arches. There's a cool stamp set that has like arched sentiments and stuff. And then we've got these Friendly Seagulls, which are in the Celebration catalog. They are so cute with their little French fries and just their expressions. It's just a little stamp set, but it's so cute. And then I wanted to be able to put the seagulls. You could, if you have the Otterly, what's it called? Otterly something online exclusives. You could use the stumps of the logs and use those as your logs to sit your seagulls on. But I remembered I had this. It's retired, I believe. I don't think it's current. Die, but it cuts out the seagull as well. So you could cut that out and just cut the seal. I just fussy cut around this. So that is what I use. So rather than worrying about all the stamping and stuff, I'm gonna just get to the embossing folder and show you the technique, and then I can show you the finished card. So, oops, I need, it helps if I keep the embossing folder. And then we're gonna use blue. We're gonna use Blueberry Bushel here for our waves. Now you could before or after you emboss, but because I'm doing this alcohol technique, I feel like it's better if it's all one smooth well, not smooth color, but like a blended color, and then you'll see the look it gets. Actually, no, I'm going to show you if you do it before, because I just showed you when you do it after. I'm going to show you how it works if you do it before. So I'm going to take my wet wipe here. It'll probably leave some color, but this will be the back. Because you, especially on the 3D embossing folders, so that it doesn't break as you run it through. It can crack the paper. So we'll take our machine here again. And we've got the folder and just the #1 plate, and then the 3D embossing folder, the gray #4 plate. Okay. So then we've got take the blue, dark blue, and where did our blueberry bushel go? Here we go. So we're gonna put this one on after the fact. Apparently I need to re-ink some of my ink pads. Hello, Yolande. Nice to see. I was wondering if my my video keeps cutting in and out, and I think it's because I'm using a new microphone and it connects directly to my phone through Bluetooth, and I'm thinking that it's causing my phone to cut in and out the video. It keeps losing signal. So I didn't know if I was like, this wasn't even working, or where things were at. Because let me know if you see on your end that it's cutting it. It just cut out and came back again. Let me know if you're seeing that or what it does for you. Okay, so this is uneven, but that's okay because it's water. You want it to be uneven. Squeegee. I need to get a clean cloth. Anyways, okay, so we've got, I'm only doing part of it because I'm only going to use, if you wanted to do multiple cards, you could do the whole thing. It's recurring. Yeah, it cuts in, it cuts out, it cuts in, it cuts out. And I think it's the microphone because it doesn't usually do this, but I've also noticed that my signal on my cell phone has been not as great in here. I also just installed my new TV that I got for what happens when your birthday is so close to Christmas. But either way, I have a new TV in my craft room, and it is one of those Samsung frames, and it's got like a separate box, but it's hardwired, so I don't think that should cause. So because this is so dark, you're going to want to use several bouts of, so this is rubbing alcohol, and I'm just rubbing it on here, and for some reason it's not working, probably because it goes, I pass as I did with when I did my original card. I don't know if it's because I didn't let it dry. It's strange because it's going through, but it's not doing much to the color, whereas last time it went like, oh, maybe it's starting. It's starting. Okay, let's, I'm gonna dry this a little, and hopefully it'll do its magic. You saw with the flowers, actually you probably weren't here, but I did some with the flowers where it worked really well. Anyways, it is coming out now, you can see, so as it dries over it. Anyways, I like how it kind of gives you multiple levels. It almost makes it look more textured than just having the solid blue. So that's cool. So then I just cut it. I ended up, I used Balmy Blue. So I'm doing 4 different embossing folders with this slightly different takes on the technique. So rather than making each card, I show how I put the card together. But I stamped the little seagulls and fussy cut them. I used the logs. Now, oh, that was the one trick I did wanted to show. So with the logs, they were facing the wrong way. And I know I talked about this on my last, I wanted them to face, I wanted the taller one to be this way, but on here it's this way. So to remedy that, you can stamp it onto a silicone sheet. I find the grip mat works really well because it's basically photopolymer stamp material. So what better medium to stamp on than a photopolymer stamp? And then, and I'm going to stamp, I'm going to use my stamp to get it inked, because then it's putting pressure exactly where, and this stamp isn't the best one to do this reverse technique because it's a very, what do you call it? Defined, distinctive, I think is what they're called, stamp. So this is the stamp from the stamp. And then this is the version from that I picked up. So you can see, now you can put it this way or you cut out again. All right, I'm back. Oy vey's. Gotta love technology. Okay, so that's card number 2 with our seagull friends. Next, I've got, it could be a Valentine's, but it's also just kind of, I mean, it's a good one for a friend or someone you love, or just a kind of like a hug card. So for this one, I'm using the, these embossing folders that I'm using are the 4 new embossing folders that are available. This one's from the online exclusives. The Waves was from the mini catalog. The first one I did with the little flowers was from the Celebration catalog. So this is plaster painting. It is part of a massive suite on the online exclusives. It has a mixed media florals, and then it has the mixed labels, and it has all the dye. So I've used this dye from the mixed labels as well as the sentiment. And then there's this is from another suite. This is marbled Hearts of Elegance dyes, but there's a marbled paper, which has beautiful gold foiling through it. So this is a fun one just because you've got all the different size hearts and stuff. Let me just close this ink pad as I see I left it open. This one with this embossing folder. So here's the couple, I cut out some smaller hearts in my other card that I will show you. I used, so this is this heart. I used this big heart on the sample I'm going to show you. I've stamped, so your kindness made my day. It can be for anything. It does for Valentine's. And then this is part of the marbled elegance paper as well. So I'm just going to take this piece for my embossing folder. And on this one, I'm going to show you how it works when you use the reverse. Instead of the embossed side, we're going to use the debossed side. So once again, we're going to ink up our paper. Cherry cobbler. And so rather than use my brush, I'm going to just go direct. I just inked this up. This is like uber inky. Like it sticks to the paper. Oy vey's. I'm gonna have to dry this before. Hopefully it works with this much ink. We'll find out. But you know, it's good. I like to show you, if you do it this way, what's going to happen. Because instead of just being like brush or don't want to or simply can't. I know yesterday my thumbs were not happy with me, and so doing all that blender brushing would have bothered me. I see I've got some pieces of cherry cobbler. The reds are some of the messiest. So is this way, oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to turn on the noise canceling on my mic. So this is probably super loud compared to what it normally is, because usually the phone kind of blocks it out. Let me know, is this really loud? So I totally, and I could try and hit the button, but I'd be afraid I'd probably turn it off or something instead of turning on the noise canceling, and then I'd lose everything. It's not too bad. Okay. Well, next time, if I'm gonna have to do a test. I'm gonna have to do a video with and see if it's the mic that's making things cut things. That would really be sad if it's the mic, because I don't think I can return it now. All right. Well, Big Boss here again. And we're going to, so the Stampin' Up! Embossing folders always have the label. That's the embossed, it's supposed to be the embossed side. So I'm gonna flip my paper over so that the white side is up, and I've dried it so much. I almost, ooh, nice. Hopefully that doesn't come through. I just want to wet the paper a bit because now it feels super dry. So we're going to be using the debossed side rather than the, and then just run it through here. Okay, so this is the embossed side. Look at my hands. And this is the debossed side. And then we're gonna do our spritzy spritz again. Hopefully I have enough in here to do all four. You can see it actually kind of turns yellowy, and at first I was like, because I tried it on this side, and it's the kind of the big arches that change color, and it was super yellow, which does not go with my colors. So you might want to figure out kind of what the alcohol does to your colors before you choose your color scheme. But I already had my colors picked out, so in order to remedy the yellowiness, I will show you what to do. Okay, got that saturated. Now I think I want to dry this again. Let's try and remove the excess alcohol. You got to be careful when you're drying with the heat tool and the alcohol. You don't want to set things on fire. Isn't that cool? But it's not necessarily the colors that I want. Actually, let's see. I'll show you what I did do. I'm back. Okay, I was putting it with Pretty in Pink. So I didn't like, I guess it kind of could look pink. So in order to try and turn it pink, you can take your Pretty in Pink and just kind of drag it across, because it'll only go on the raised parts. Now, I've still found that it wasn't necessarily pinky enough for my taste, so I ended up which is kind of the other color in this marbled paper suite. Just came in and so now instead of being yellow, now you, I think I need a new wipe. Instead of, you could probably skip, well, you could and you couldn't. If you're thinking you could skip the step of using the alcohol for this one, you could, but then you would have to use, I don't know what you would use because you're already using cherry cobbler. So to get that kind of other color versus trying to put a color on the dark color. So I think you still need to do the alcohol technique, but I felt like that was better. It kind of had a better match to it. So here's the finished card with the dried embossing folder. And then I used the pretty in pink. And here again, I used that gold trim ribbon. And it's just a card to give to a friend. It doesn't have to be a Valentine. All right. And then if you want to see the pretty paper, I did show it in my unboxing video, so you can go back and look at that if you want to see all the bits and pieces. So the is, as it cuts out, is my favorite. It is the butterfly suite. Let me just put this brush away so I don't get glue on everything. I'll put this one, and this one, and this one away. Okay, so the butterfly suite is, oops, well, that's not it. What did I do? Anyways, here it is. For some reason, I didn't mark it. This is a beautiful, beautiful suite. I love the gelatine when it is, oh, galantine, yeah. It's beautiful. It's 6x6 paper, which we're not using today because we're making our own backgrounds. But if you don't want to get all messy and take the time to make your own backgrounds, this paper is absolutely gorgeous. I am using it for my club cards for February. I was gonna do a class for this, but because we were using it for club, I chose not. I do have a birthday card coming up I haven't decided if it's going to be the last weekend in February or the March 1st. But if you're interested in making birthday cards, let me know. Anyways, moving on. This suite is awesome. The dies are amazing. You can cut out to have a butterfly shape just on the front, or you can cut it out so that both the full butterfly card is a butterfly, which is cool. So that's kind of something new. It's great for making shaker. It has these beautiful, is it bokeh or bouquet mix? I've always heard it as bouquet, and then recently I heard someone say it's bokeh, and then I looked it up and it's like a photography technique and they said bokeh, but I've never heard it called that. If you know what it's called, how to pronounce it, let me know. I could be ruining things. And then it's got this hybrid embossing folder, which is what we are using today. So, but we're not using the hybrid part. We're just using the embossing folder, and then I'm using one of the other dies. If I can find it here. Ooh. So, I've got that. We need this piece. And then I cut out a butterfly. This is cool because I cut it out of the brushed gold, and then it's got like the different bodies for the different size butterflies that you can cut out. And then I cut out piece of vellum, and this is from the dies. Let me show you the dies quickly and the stamp set so you know what I'm talking about. Oops, I don't need that. Okay, so we've got the embossing folder. This is ephemera, which we're going to use as the sentiment. It has white and black, and then it has black and white sentiments. But here's the stamp set. So the happy birthday is what I had used for the first card. And then the sentiment here is from this sentiment from the dies. So it's got two sentiments. It's got a bunch of butterflies, and then this is the shaped, and then this butterfly, and then the three little bodies, which are fun. And then we've got our embossing folder. So we've got, I'm gonna do two colors on here. I'm gonna use Berry Burst and Blackberry Bisque, so dark colors again. And I'm just gonna make sure that take off the darkest of color here. So we'll put on some of the Berry Burst to begin. Okay, I mean, it cuts in and out quite a bit, but it does it very quickly. I don't know if it's like the signal checking or why it's doing that. Have you had that issue, Yolande? I think I asked you, do you use a corded mic or cordless? I'll have to do some research. Good. But I know that we did have to reboot. I feel like the box is getting old, so maybe there's something going on there. Okay, so there's our Berry Burst. Treat your paper. You know, you don't want to just put a light sprinkle of color, because otherwise when you go to do the alcohol, it's not gonna do a whole lot. It'll still react. It's just you won't have Oh, well, maybe I'll watch your live after this, and then we can, I do have to run for an appointment, but hopefully I can watch the first little bit. Okay, so this one is Blackberry Bliss. Pardon me, I'm tempted to buy larger brushes. Oh, I don't know. Is it FedEx? I guess the bonus of being at the front of the house is I can see what's going on. I can see who's delivering. Although I do miss my backyard view. The trees and not the cars. The view out front is not the best. Just have to look at my crafting instead. Okay. I have, right now anyways, apparently I have a tear, and my leg did really well while I was in Boston, and then when I came back I thought, oh, maybe it's finally healing, because I know what movements not to do now. But as soon as we came back and I started going up and down the stairs, I guess it's not, it must have been the lack of stairs that was making it better, not the lack of bad movements. Okay, I'm gonna run this through, And this one, you're going to do another step on top of the alcohol. So this is kind of a variation. Oh, you're leaving. Okay, talk to you later. Run this through. So this one we're doing the correct way up, the embossed way, not the debossed way. And you can see the white, you know, and that's the thing is if you don't saturate your paper and it cracks a little bit, then you're really going to see that white. But we're covering this up anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that. So we're going to come back in with our alcohol and our block, if I can find my block. Okay, and then this one I actually contemplated using the back side when I saw it. I'll show it to you once we get this saturated. Isn't that pretty? It makes the ink soak through, and it takes like all the shapes and stuff. So I kind of was like, oh, I kind of like that. But that's okay. All right, so we've got that alcohol down, and it's changing colors, and it's really making those butterflies pop. So then the next step is we're going to come back with the embossing folder, and we're going to take the embossing side. So I'm just going to wipe this because it's got some color on it. Then we're going to take our brayer. Now, you might have wondered if you could use the brayer to put on the alcohol, and I thought about it, but I don't know if this gets, like when you use it with the ink, it's very kind of liquidy, like it keeps the movement. So I didn't want to wreck my brayer, so I chose not to try it, but we are going to use the brayer with our Whisper White ink. Now, before I put the ink on, I want to get this in the right spot. So you want to it'll kind of fit, it'll lock in, and then you just put it down. I'm going to take a couple pieces of craft tape, and I'm going to stick it down. Use such large pieces because you don't really want it to hide. Anyways, it'll have some white, but it'll have some spots without the white. Okay, so then once you've got that there, you want to put your white craft ink onto here. We're not putting it on top of our alcoholized areas. We're putting it on the debossed areas. So the inside, like these dark parts, we're gonna turn, I mean, you could put as many layers of white. Like you can do this several times if you want to get it darker. Over here so that I'm not making a mess of everything. Same sandwich as normal. Okay. And then you can see when we open it up, it's lightened the insides, but the alcoholized raised parts are still there. So if you wanted more white, you could do more white. I kind of like as it is. To me, there's enough there. So I'm going to leave that. Isn't that pretty though? And then for the finished version, we've got this finished birthday. I'm going to move this before I have a accident. So this is the ephemera, oops, that's ephemera sentiments. So that's like you could do a get well soon. There isn't really, you could do a congratulations, there's a Merry Christmas, there's happy holidays, thanks. You can use I love you. But then on the other side, there's the black and white. So there's congratulations. This is the happy birthday that I used, but you could easily use the congratulations or the thinking of you. There's also 4 sheets of the white and black and 4 of the, so there's 4 of those. I thought there was 8. Nope, there's only 6. Okay, this one there's only 2 sheets of the same. There's Sweet Baby. Lots of nice, but yeah, you could use the congratulations. That looks good too. So whatever works, or you could make your own. But yeah, after kind of doing all that work on the background, I just took an easy road. So let me show you the 4 cards. You got a bonus because, you know, I missed last week. So we've got the seagulls, which are from the celebration. We've got the birthday cake. We've got the birthday butterflies. Well, they're not birthday butterflies, they're butterflies. And then we've got the the hearts, oy veys. I don't know why I can never remember that one. We've got a total mismatch of products in this one. This is from the mixed. You enjoyed that. Hopefully I've inspired you to pull out your embossing folders and try this new technique and make some cool new backgrounds. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next Wednesday. Bye.